have a go at it. Got him. Oh. Look at the size of that thing.
That is yellow belly, is it?
Huh? Look at the size of him. Today we've come up to Mount Caprica. We're actually already made it to the top, and what we'll do, we'll go back down and start from the bottom, and we'll give you a look on the way up. So we've just got to the first little picnic area, and this is pretty well at the bottom of the hill. We're probably a third of the way up. It's actually closed at the moment because they're shooting feral animals apparently. There's a little bit of information, green camp. But we'll keep heading up. The car's actually getting a little bit hot, so we'll just have to take it easy on the way up and see if we make it up there. So this is the first campground that I've come to. I'll give you a look.
Where's the pink one?
This is actually the notice board, or the information board. Just gives you a bit of a rundown of where we are, what to do. If you want some booking information, it's all there. So that's the information board. I've just been down to the amenities block, and they've got hot showers, clean toilets. It's really nice actually. I obviously won't go in there and film, but I can tell you it is a nice spot. We'll go for a wander down and we'll just have a look at these couple of campsites down here, and then we'll keep going up. I know there's a much bigger campsite up here, other stuff. So this is the bark hut camping area, and they're not too badly set out. Each camping area's got its own table and its own little barbecue, which are basically brand new. I'll just give you a bit of a look at their little barbecue setup. They haven't even been used yet. They've just got a hot plate that comes down and a grill, and it overlooks this little area here, which they're actually doing a lot of work up here at the moment. There's a couple of blokes up here working with the bobcat and cleaning up the gardens, but from what I can see, there's probably about 12 campsites in this little area. There's a really nice barbecue area over here, some seats and more parking areas down the track there. I won't go down there just now because the blokes are working, but just to give you a look at each site, I'll get back. So this is each site. You got a camp table, barbecue area, and a fairly big parking bay, enough for your camper trailer and your car. And I'm not going to show you too much because you'll have to come up here for yourselves and have a look. But this is the first lookout area. We'll just come out here and give you a bit of a look at this area. I think that's called something like Caprica Rock. I don't know whether the video is going to do it justice, but it's bloody massive.
We're nearly in the clouds.
And there's a massive big drop off down there, and hills. And what you can see in the distance out here, which you probably, I don't know how good it's going to show out, that's the Western Plains out that way. That's where the country gets real flat. That's what you call the outback in that direction. And this is the last hills before you hit the outback. We're getting close to the top now, and there is a pink slug that lives out here. We're going to have a look around for it, but they're extremely rare. This is the only place in the world that you'll find them. I have seen them quite a few times. I used to actually do a bit of work up here when I was younger, and when the temperature's got to be just right and it's got to be wet, and they come out on the black rocks, and they're a massive big pink slug. Got to be one of the rarest animals in the world because this is literally the only place that you can get them. We'll have a look for those as well. And you're in for a real treat today because I've actually found a couple of these pink slugs. They're the most extremely rare thing, Nelly, to see on Earth. I don't even know, if you do a search, you probably won't even find any other footage on YouTube with them. But anyway, I'll stop rambling and give you a look. And we've come up here at exactly the right time. These are the big pink slugs. I'll try and get some close footage of it. You can see they're a big, flat, bright orange slug, and they live on these wet rock faces. These rock faces, I'll give you a bit of a look. there's always water weeping out of these rock faces, and unless it's really hot and dry. There's another one, is there?
The baby one.
Here's a look. And I didn't even see them. Eileen spotted them too. They were sort of hiding. There's another baby one there. So we've almost made it to the top. We're at the summit. We're not quite there yet. We've got to go up the stairs. There is an information board here. You want to have a bit of a look at it. So we've made it to the top, and that rain is really starting to come down now. Well, not really, but it's definitely spitting. We'll head back to the other day. I just want to give you a bit of a look at a dam I went to the other day and got a few yabbies. I won't be going back to that place. Today I was heading out to another dam, a much bigger dam than this one, but there's a drover coming through, and he's been working his way down this stock route, and he's come past this little dam. Now this little dam, it was overgrown, like there's no way in the world you would have walked through it. And I'll just give you a look at it now. And look at it now. The cows have just absolutely got it trampled down to basically bare dirt. And I just pulled up and had a yarn with the drover, and they won't be coming back this way, but they're watering now at the much bigger hole where I was going. And it was fairly overgrown too, so I was a little bit sketchy about going there. But I reckon we have a go at this one, and we follow the drover down next week, and we'll go to the bigger dam next week. He'll have it all chewed down for me. Couldn't have asked for any better. And what we're going to do, we're going to run a bit of a campaign. I'm almost thinking I should throw a line in here first, just to have a bit of a test of the waters to see whether I'm going to get anything, which I will do. But we will throw the traps in. If the line absolutely goes off with the big yabbies, then I'll probably check them every hour or so. If the line's a bit quiet, I'll leave them till at least lunchtime, and we'll run a 24-hour campaign on this dam, I reckon. And I'm going to put a line out here. I've actually got a little sinker on there as well to get it down onto the bottom, and I'll put it out about as far as what I've put the traps. I'm actually on a bit of a corner here, which probably isn't the best. But I think if the dam's loaded, it won't take long to get one on the line. I've had this line sitting for about 5 minutes, and it didn't appear to be doing too much, but it does feel like there's a bit of weight on there. Oh yeah, we've got a little fella. There's a little fella on there for sure. And it's not the best dam to be scooping at either. Let's hope he's hungry. He's definitely hungry. Let's have a look at him. My goodness. That's what you call a dirty yabby. I don't know whether it's just because I dragged him through all the slime and mud, but he is slippery. Oh, that's got to be one of the slimiest, dirtiest. He's even slippery to hold onto. He's got a layer of slime on him about 5 mil thick, I reckon. He's definitely going back. He's not going in the pot, that fella. Have a go at him. He's actually slippery to hold. We'll put him back. So I've had a bit of a go at the lines. I haven't done much good. I've got a couple of really slimy little fellas, and that was about it. Oh my bloody god. Another really slimy one. And check that out. They're the most slimiest, dirtiest looking yabbies I've ever seen in my life. Actually slippery to hold. I don't know what the go is. We'll go and check these other traps, but I think we're going to have to keep moving. Trap number 2, and that wind's really blowing up now, so hopefully it's not coming through too bad. Got another one. Another really slimy looking bloody thing. Oh, these yabbies in here are absolutely disgusting. Check that out. We'll put him back. Well, that wasn't real successful. I was going to run a bit of a campaign on this dam, run it for 24 hours and give it a good go, but the yabbies here are the most slimiest, dirtiest looking bloody things I've ever seen in my life. So we're gonna move. I'm gonna go and find somewhere else and see if we can get some better ones. I'll give you a bit of a look around. We've got the clouds out there in the distance, actually below us. That's how high up we are. You can see all the dead trees and that through here from the bushfire that come through a couple of years ago. It's actually bounced back fairly well. We got the selfie queens over here getting all the selfies on top of the mountain. There is actually a little plaque up here, gives all directions and distances to different places. And we've got the Western Plains out there in the distance. It's not a very good day to be trying to have a look, but you can just see the vast expanse of the outback out that way. All beautiful hills this way. You can normally see a long way, but I can only see to that first mountain today. And I just thought I'd stop here along the way. There's actually 3 cabins up here. There's one in the middle and another one down here. So there's camping or cabins up here. There's powered sites, there's unpowered sites. So if you wanted to come up here, you don't have to do it hard. Like we've seen before, there's just campsites where you can camp your put your camping trailer. There's unpowered sites. There's these cabins here. We'll have a quick look inside these cabins. I've actually been in all 3 of them. Like I said, I used to work up here, so I've been all through these cabins before. And luckily, no one's actually camping up here in the cabins at the moment. But as you can see, very modern. They got a wood fire in there, which probably going to be a bit hard to see.
Where?
There's a wood fireplace, and this is what you're overlooking. There's various barbecue areas all spotted all through here. We'll keep heading down. We'll go down to these barbecue areas and we'll have a bit of a cook up these yabbies that I got. While we're on our way, we might shoot back to the other day and I'm going to show you where I got these yabbies we're about to cook up. Today I've come out to a little creek. I've done really well in this creek in the past, but it's getting really dry. I'll give you a look. It's not real deep. I've actually already got 4 traps set. I've got one right here. Don't know if you'll make out that line there. One about 10 metres. I've got them strung out fairly evenly along the dam here, or the creek. The one in the middle is only just below the water, so that's how shallow it is. This one here is probably 1.5 feet deep, I suppose. The trap's 6 or 8 inches under the water. And I am dangling out here on this log. I'll just turn around carefully, trying to keep me balance. I'm out in the middle of the creek. So I've got me rod here, nice big chunk of liver on it. And what all I'm going to do is just dangle it straight off the edge of this log. And what I will do is I won't cut it, I'll keep yous live. I'll put yous on my head mount. And there's something biting on that line already. I'll grab my scoop. I've got my bucket there ready to go, because I reckon they will be fairly concentrated in here. There is something going off on that line, but I don't know whether we just might leave it for another 30 seconds or so. No, we won't. We'll check it. Now, you seen that? That was live, uncut, unedited. Bring it up slow. Oh, there's a bit of weight on there. You beauty. What do we got? And I'll keep this going live. I've got no way of holding my rod there. 2 beauties and a shrimp. There might be a few shrimp in here. We'll put them in the bucket. Turn around, that line's going off again. Instantly. And what I'll do is I'll just keep moving up and down this log, I think. Ooh. There's still one on there. I felt something decent let go. I'll just keep moving along this log a little bit. Another 2 actually. No monsters. So that's 4. That fella doesn't want to get out of the net. There he goes. Oh, I'm going to give that line 10 seconds, you reckon? There's something definitely on it already. Now this, I'm not going to cut this. I'm going to keep this going unedited for a couple of minutes, I reckon. Another one. And he doesn't even want to let go.
Look at that. Come on, let go, you little bugger. I'll put him straight over the bucket if he lets go beforehand. Ah, there he goes, he's in the bucket. We might even go out a bit further. I don't know how deep it's going to be there. I might have to let a bit more line out. Let a bit more line out. And I'll just check my camera. Hopefully I've had this in focus, in frame. I'll point it down just a little bit further. And what I might even do, I may even go and get my chest mount. I don't know whether that's sitting on the bottom there. Whew. What do we got? 6. 5, 6, 5. Within a couple of minutes. And that line, it's hard to tell. I thought I put a bit of slack on that line, but we'll just bring it up and have a look. It's not really pulling. Yep, another one, straight up. We'll keep moving out. And hopefully my rod doesn't get taken in while I'll let a bit more slack off there. It's not very deep, so if my rod does get taken in, I'll be able to find it, but I don't want it to. We'll put this fella in the bucket without falling in. And I'll tell you what, you wouldn't want to fall in this creek, I don't reckon. You probably end up missing a foot or a toe or something. That line is gone a little bit quiet, but there are bubbles all around it, so we'll go and check it. No, there's something on it. Definitely something on there. I probably should leave it longer than 10 seconds, but there's something stirring up down there. Look, heap of bubbles and a leaf just popped up. There's something stirring up down there. Oh, this feels like a bit of weight on there. Oh, yes, I know why, because there's bloody 3 or 4 on there. Let's bring the line back here a bit. We'll set it out there. What did we get there? 3. They're not monsters, and I will check all these for eggs. God, Struth. There must be 10 yabbies in there at least. I'll have to pull up in a sec and I'll get a heap of grass and put in there. And just give you a look. That line is pulling, but we'll keep it unedited. I just want to give you a quick look at this. See around this edge here? Wild pigs. They're just riddled in here. There's as many wild pigs as yabbies, I reckon. There's a little hole there. We might even throw a line in that little hole just for laughs. This line's going off. But all around that hole is just pig damage. All the way around this hole, the pigs have been. And I seen one hell of a wild boar coming in here, but he was pretty quick. He heard me coming. I just seen him darting through the scrub, but he was a fair lump of a pig. I'm just looking at my clock there. We're up to 7 minutes. That line's going off. We'll have another check, and then I'll cut yours and I'll put some grass in that bucket because they're going to end up fighting, I reckon. So unedited. It's going to be a bit of rough camera work, putting his on the head mount. Now just hopefully, oh, they're going to take this bloody rod in on me shortly. Just hopefully, I've had yous in a decent sort of, with most of that camera work. What the heck? They must have me under a stick. Oh, they've had me under a stick or something there. We'll keep it live. I was going to cut it after that pull, but there must be a stick or something in the water there. I might even just have a feel. Yeah, there is. There's a big tree root or something. I won't stir it up too much. I'll just avoid that little patch there because they'll just keep dragging me under that tree root.
And we may even go for a walk up the creek in a little while. We'll just have a look at this line. One last check. Doesn't feel like there's anything on it now, no. So I've put some more water and a fair bit of grass in that bucket. I think we've got about 10 or 12 in there already. This line is obviously going off again. We'll pull this line in, and I reckon we might go for a wander down the creek and just see what we can find. But we'll get this rod in first because it looks like there's something fairly well going on it. Holy dooly. I think that one just flicked straight back into the net. I was thinking, geez, there's a lot of weight on that. My God, how many have we got? I have had the line sitting there for about, be no longer than 5 minutes. There's a bloody net full. Unbelievable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 yabbies. We just doubled our yabbies in one go. Yeah, that doesn't get much better than that. 6 more yabbies. Unbelievable. Now they're absolutely going off in this hole, and I do have 4 traps, so we might just go for a walk just to have a look along the creek, see if there's any other big holes. It's been about 2 minutes, and I haven't got one on that line yet. So I'd say there's not much in this hole, but in saying that, I sort of don't blame them. It's about 2 inches deep, and have a go at the bloody pig tracks here. I'd say the pigs would be coming in here. We've had a fair heat wave, and it's been really hot. The pigs would be coming in here through the day, and they'd be just absolutely wallowing the hell out of that hole. They'd be laying in there, stirring it up, rooting through it, picking out all the yabbies and eating them. Look at the tracks here. I'll tell you what, if you wanted to set a pig trap, this would be the place. Look at it all over here. And fresh too. Like they've probably only been here, would have definitely been here last night or this morning. Well, I've been walking along here for a fair way, and it's all dry. It used to be a good hole there by the look of it. It's completely bone dry. And this is what the creek looks like. Just dry as a bone. So I reckon this big hole up here is probably one of the last big holes. There's a pig jaw there. I will head back. Might have a bit more of a go on that log and see if we can get a couple of monsters, I think. So I've come back to the log, and I found myself a little rod holder there. It's just a little bit of a hollow in the log, and I've thrown my line out into the middle, about there somewhere. There's definitely something having a go at it. What I'll do is I'll just bring my line over like this with my hand, leave me rod in the rod holder. I've actually got a burr in my net, tangling my net up. Doesn't feel massive. Well, actually it does feel fairly decent. Oh yes, another bloody handful. It's been about 45 minutes. I reckon we'll go and check these traps. I generally don't like leaving them too much longer than that. It's not too bad with those bait pods in there, those bait holders, because they can't really get a good feed and get back out again. So they tend to hang around a bit longer. In a spot like this, once you get a certain amount of yabbies in a trap, they tend not to keep getting in there. A lot of people have asked me about them bait holders. I've just got them off eBay. Just type in crab pot bait holder or something like that, and I think it's about 30 bucks Australian for 4 of them, or I bought 6 for, I think it was like 36 bucks delivered from an Australian seller, and they're bloody absolutely magic. I wished I'd bought them earlier. They make your bait last a lot longer, and they make handling the bait a lot better. You don't have to worry about time. You can just cut all your liver up into little chunks, fill it up. You can get some dog biscuits, throw in there, fill it up, and then when you want to empty it out, you just got to shake them upside down and they just empty out. The only problem I have had with them, which I will say, is when you're traveling and you want to stack your yabby traps flat, they tend, because they're about that high, your yabby traps won't stack flat.
but you can just unclip them, take them out. It's a bit of a pain. That's the only drawback I found with them, which isn't a big one. I tend just to leave them in there. I can still stack 4 traps. They just, you know, the traps will sit a lot higher because the bait holders will sit on top of each other. That's the only drawback I found with them so far. I better get this line in. We'll get this line in and we'll go and check the traps. So these traps have been about 45 minutes, so I'm not expecting absolute miracles, but I'm sure there'll be some in it. Holy dooly! There's some in there, all right. God, 3, 4, about 30 odd. And there is some big ones in there. But about 30 odd, and there's some nice yabbies in amongst them too. So I've been through and had a bit of a look for them for eggs. None of the big ones have eggs. They're a bit slimy looking. And I'm going to keep all them. I want some bait. And as you can see, that's what I was talking about, the bait holder. If you didn't have that bait holder in there, they would have absolutely annihilated that. But that bait, especially that liver, you squash it all and it'll freshen it right up. You're good to go again straight away. Go to the second trap. One thing I did forget, I forgot my bloody esky with the lid on it, the bigger esky to keep all the yabbies in. I've got that fair sized bucket, but I prefer the esky. And there's a few nice ones and some good bait. There's some absolutely good bait in there actually. I'll get them straight into the bucket, just having a good look for eggs along the way. And I will sort them out before I go. Just double check them all for eggs. Now this trap is in a bit of shallow water. As you can see, the top of the trap's sticking out there, so I wouldn't, I was going to say I wouldn't expect miracles out of this trap, but it's definitely the best one so far. Jeez whiz. There'd be this big fella's trying to escape. God, there'd be 40, 50 yabbies in there at least. Look at that for about a 45-minute run. Have a go at that. Now that trap is fairly well loaded. I probably should leave it in there for a couple of hours and just see what happens. But I only want some bait and a feed, which I've definitely got here. And I'm getting too many in the bucket now, so I'm going to leave them in the trap. So I've got too many for the bucket, which is not a bad thing. I do want to keep a fair few today. This dam is, or this water hole in this creek's drying up. All the creek's drying up, so it's going to be dry. If we don't get rain soon, it's going to dry up. I'll get this last trap in, and it's not as loaded as that last one, but there's definitely quite a few yabbies in there. Again, there'd have to be 1, 2, there's about 25, 30 yabbies in there. There is a couple of really good ones, good little bait size ones. So what I'm going to have to do, there's way too many to put in that one bucket. That bucket's full already, and I've still got these 2 trap fulls. I've got a water drum in the back of the ute. I'm going to have to empty it out, put some dam water in there and a heap of grass. We'll put them in there until we get home, and I'll sort them out. Oh, geez, that was hard work. I've literally sorted them out, and check this out. I have thrown a heap back actually. I only kept a bucket full. Now that's not a little bucket either. It's sort of bigger than your average bucket. And it is pretty well full. You probably fit a few more in there, but they're packed in. I've got this big water drum. I'm going to fill it up with water and dead grass and sticks and stuff. I'll keep them in that water drum until I get home. I'll keep the little ones for bait, and we're going to go and cook the big ones up. So I've got my yabby tails on there. What I done was I just blanched them at home and peeled them, and I just brought the tail itself out just to make it easy. So I'm not mucking around out here peeling yabbies and making a mess. And I didn't want to leave a heap of yabby shells and that in the bins out here for the workers. It'd be absolutely disgusting in a couple of days. So done all that at home, done all the hard work. Josie was about to have a taste test, and I realised I didn't show you what I actually done with them. So what I've done, I thought we'd have a few snacks while we're up here. So I've just got some cheddar crackers, and I've put a bit of sour cream on the cheddar cracker. We've got the seasoned yabby tail, and I've topped mine off with some sliced jalapenos. Some red and green, and I've left a few just plain.
I'll give
We'll have these ones and make some more up.
Here you go. Can I give that?
So we'll give our little hors d'oeuvre a go. Good little snack up in the mountains, I reckon. Those little crackers are really light.
I want this. Can I or not?
Jalapeno gives it a little bit of bite.
Can I have it?
Yeah, Josie's going to have a taste test. She's got a double header. She's got 2 yabby tails on hers and nothing else. You meant to take it in one bite, Jose.
No, it's too big for my mouth.
And we've got Eileen and Annika up here picking the yabby tails off the plate. Have a taste and tell us what you reckon they like. You got to watch Annika with these yabby tails because they send a hypo. She'll be running up and down these mountains like a bloody billy goat. And I think there's a couple of kangaroos over here. I'll see if we can have a look. Yeah, there is. There's a couple of kangaroos. Look at them. It's the first Filipino kangaroo I've ever seen in my life. This is the bigger camping area. We were just up there, that's where we had our barbecue, and we've come for a walk down into these camping areas, and they sort of start here and come all the way around, and they're basically the same. These little sites here would be the unpowered sites, I guess. There are taps, barbecue areas, there's a few barbecues scattered through here, little pads for your tent, and there's a big main fire pit up the end, and the camping areas are all scattered either side. These ones here on this side actually look like they're for camper trailers, so you can back your camping trailer up. So there's one here, back your camping trailer up into there, you've got your own table, your own barbecue. Another one there, the same, all the way through here. And if you're into bush walking or trail bike, push bike riding, this is the place to come. There's literally tens of kilometres, probably might even be like 100 kilometres of walking trails all through the mountains. And this will just give you a bit of an idea. The little bit that we showed today isn't even like 1/10 of it. They're all the different lookouts and walking trails and falls and all sorts of things that you can see up here. Different picnic areas that you have to walk to, campgrounds. There's another look at booking information if you want to screenshot that. Costs and whatever. We've decided to do one of the walking tracks, and we've picked the supposedly hard one, and you got these little signs along the way giving you a bit of information on the different trees and stuff. And this is a bit of a look at the bushland on the way through, and the trails are actually easy. They're made out of that rubber matting sort of stuff, and they're fairly wide and fairly flat, and it's all downhill here, so I'm doing all right, but I think we're going to have an uphill run up here, so we might struggle a bit. And they've definitely made bushwalking easy. Look at this. There's a wooden track all the way through this rough hillside, winding up through the hills. So I can see we're just about at the end of the track. We'll leave the video there. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and catch you on the next one.